Welcome to Therapy Unlocked, where we discuss all things therapy from an unlocked perspective. I'm Emily Huffman, and I'm here with Katrina.
Hello, Katrina Mondragon, licensed professional counselor. All right, so like I said, I am a professional, but not your professional, so nothing we're going to talk about today should be taken as medical, legal, or otherwise advice. This podcast is purely for education and amusement. That is it. That's the disclaimer.
Education, amusement, and because I would like to be famous. So please like, subscribe, follow, engage, hate on us, join the conversation, find us on YouTube, find us on Instagram, find us anywhere where you listen to podcasts, because I love a creeper and I love a hater and I love a lover. So if you like the podcast, if you dislike the podcast, I'd like to hear from you.
Almost scientific, almost sci-fi level interesting that we have gotten to the point that we can map a brain and tell what's going on in said brain, where the thoughts are occurring, is something I didn't think I would maybe ever see in reality during my lifetime. That's amazing. So I think that it goes pretty easy into what I was thinking here, which is that why, if feelings are not facts, do they feel so real? And my thought is just that because our body believes the story, you start to think about something that is causing you stress or causing you anxiety, and you will then oftentimes physically exhibit the signs of it. You may have an increased pulse rate. You may have more rapid breathing, something along those levels. Look at somebody having a severe panic attack. They definitely are having a physiological response. Our body is believing that story coming from.
The feeling is real. The physiological sensations associated with that feeling is 100% happening.
Right. So the joke or the thought, not the joke, but the joke that comes to mind is that I was speaking with one of my teenagers and I said, unfortunately, my brain cannot tell the difference between the microwave alarm and a bomb going off. So I do like to stop it right before it gets to zero. I don't like that microwave alarm sound. It does feel like a bomb is going off, So there is no reality. There's no reality to that. There's no, that microwave alarm didn't do anything to me. But it feels inherently true that it's attacking me. That thing is just jumping out and it's coming for me. And I get anxiety from it. So that's why I say the joke, because it's not a joke. Absolutely, it isn't. But when it's something silly like that, if a bag of Legos hits the floor, oh my gosh, like it might as well be the tornado sirens going off outside. I cannot tell the difference. My brain cannot tell the difference. So just tying it back to everyday life, when we can't tell the difference, we have no choice but to assume that there's going to be times that we should invalidate, or I don't know. I feel I have no choice but to assume there are times that I need to, for lack of a better term, invalidate my feelings and say, okay, why am I reacting this way? And is my reaction worth it?
I think feelings are always valid. Always. Feelings are not facts. And so when you check the facts, you can decide how to proceed behaviorally in a mindful way.
I like that. Proceed behaviorally in a mindful way. That's an excellent way to put that. You got to use that curiosity and say, what is this feeling telling me? I think that's probably the first question I will ask myself. I think one of the best things I learned in marriage counseling for my marriage that failed was to walk back my own behavior. No, the marriage didn't work out, but I took something great back with it, which is that if I walk into a scenario and I didn't like it, I will first walk back my own behavior. My natural curiosity.
Curiosity, because listening to the feelings is functional. Feelings have functions, and the purpose of feelings, like people think, what's the fucking point? The function of feelings is survival. If I bite into an apple and experience disgust and spit that shit out, I might have just saved my life. That guy who walked into his office and saw the snake and experienced fear and ran away probably saved his life if it was a poisonous snake. So our feelings are functional if we listen. If we shove it down, suck it up, don't feel, don't talk, and don't trust, then those things that we don't acknowledge are going to increase. So it's kind of like quicksand. I don't know if you know this, the way out of quicksand is not to struggle. If you struggle in quicksand, you will sink faster. And so the same is true of an intense emotion. The more we resist, the more intense the internal distress. So to get out of quicksand, you lay back, that you actually lay in quicksand and then roll out to distribute your weight. So you experience anxiety in order to get out of it. You go through it.
I definitely thought quicksand was going to be a bigger problem in my adult life as a child than it actually is. Like, I was sure that I was going to be encountering quicksand because it really felt like every adult let me know what to do if I did encounter quicksand. So, like, I heard way more about what to do if I encountered quicksand than what to do if I encountered anxiety. But you're right. It's very similar. I mean, you have to go through it. What we repress, we must address is probably my phrase of 2025.
Who said that? Did you say that, or who said that?
I don't know where it came from. I've seen it before though, so I don't know where it originated. But what we repress, we have to address. Like, I've seen it online, I've seen it in comments, and it is so aggressively true for me, at least. If I push something down, one of my favorite jokes is to tell my friends to put it in their feeling jar because we have things to do. Shove that down in your feeling jar, close it up real tight. I'm sure you'll never have to deal with it again. I'm sure it will not explode. I'm sure it will not overfill. It will be fine. Pop that feeling jar open and shove it in there and just don't think about it anymore. But that's unfortunately, we will have to address those things that we shove in our feeling jar and it
will explode, usually at the most inconvenient time, too.
Right. Oh, it's never like, oh, I have nothing to do on a Sunday afternoon. Maybe I should process my trauma. It's always like, I'm in the checkout line at the grocery store and my card declined and I heard someone yelling and, oh no, I have big feelings. It's very inconvenient. You think you are pushing your feelings down to handle them at another time or a better time, or maybe you just think they'll go away. They will not. They just keep living there.
Speaking of big feelings, like, big feelings does not mean backsliding. A lot of times I hear, I've lost all my progress. This happened or that happened. And it sounded like a big emotion.
Yeah.
And just because we have big feelings doesn't mean we've lost the progress that we've gained in whatever healing process we're going through.
That's such a fantastic point. I think a lot of the time people almost seek forgiveness for having feelings in the first place.
Thank you for joining Katrina and I on Therapy Unlocked as we continued the conversation surrounding our feelings and facts and how we interpret the data. We look forward to new conversations with you. You can join Therapy Unlocked on most major streaming platforms, and we are also available on YouTube and Instagram. We hope that you will like, subscribe, follow, and join the conversation. Thank you so much for joining us today, and we'll see you again next week.